Hello everybody and welcome back to another math contest series video. In today's video, we're going to be going over average prices. So that's going to be our problem for today. So let's get started with our problem. So average price. So this is what the question reads. Alex bought 300 grams of candy A for $5 and X grams of candy B for $7. He calculated that the average price of all the candy that he purchased was $1.50 per 100 grams. So what was the value of X? So now, since we know the problem, let's go over our possible answers. So we have A, which is 525. We have B, which is 600. We have C, which is 500. We have D, which is 450. And we have E, which is 900. So these are our possible answers for this question. And now feel free to pause the video if you want to solve this problem by yourself. And if you feel like you can already do it, then we're going to go into the problem solution right now. So just before I start the solution to this problem, I'm just going to quickly go over the question again just to make sure that we fully understood it. So it says that Alex bought 300 grams of candy A for $5, so that's important. And he also bought X grams of candy B for $7. And then he also calculated that the average price of all the candy that he purchased was $1.50 per 100 grams. So, and we just have to find the value of X. So what I'm going to be doing first is I'm going to be writing down all of the information that we're already given, and then from there we can start solving the problem. So first we know that Alex already bought 300 grams of candy A for $5. So let's just quickly write that down. So we're just gonna write candy A as just A, and then A is equal to $5. So he spent $5. So we know he spent $5, and we know that it's 300 grams. So he got 300 grams from $5. And now let's go for candy B. And we know that for candy B he spent $7. So we're gonna just write down 7. So he spent $7. And since we don't know the amount of grams, we're just gonna write X amount of grams. So since we don't know what it is, we're just going to write X a gram. And finally, we also know that the average of all the candy that he purchased was $1.50 per 100 grams. So for average, I'm just going to write it as AV. For average, I'm just going to write it as AV. So average is equal to $1.50 per 100 grams. So we know that the average was $1.50 per 100 grams. So this is all the information that we have, and now all we have to do is find for the value of X. So just before we solve this, I just wanted to let you know that there's hundreds of different ways that this problem could be solved. There's some ways that you don't even need to do any mathematics. It's really quick. But I'm going to be showing two methods in this video. The first way will be with some math involved, and then the second way is just like a general common way of doing it, which requires no math. So let's first start with the math way of doing this. Okay, so the way that we're going to be solving this problem is first we're just going to be writing the total amount of money he spent. So we already know that he spent $12 because we could just do 7 plus 5, which is 12. So I'm just going to keep $12 right here. We're going to need that later. So we know in total that he spent $12. And now what we're going to be doing is we're going to need to find out how much he spent for one piece of candy. And if we can find out for one piece of candy, then we can just multiply the answer by 12. So if we find out for one piece of candy, then we can just multiply by 12, and then we could get all of the 12, and then we could subtract it by 300 grams or the $5, so we could get our answer. So then basically what we're going to do is we're going to make an equation to get only $1 out of it. So first let's get our normal equation, so what we have right now. So we have that we're going to go for the average price. We have $1.50 is equal to 100 grams. So this is what we have right now. We have $1.50 is equal to 100 grams. So what we're going to be doing now is we're going to use the unitary method in order to get just $1. So for per $1, how much grams are we going to get? So that's what we're going to be solving for now. So to do this, all we're going to do is we're going to write $1 is equal to, and then since we already have 100 grams, we're going to keep 100 grams there. And then we're just going to divide by $1.50. Since we want to move $1.50 to the other side, we have to divide both by 150. So 150 gets cancelled over here, and then it gets added over there. So here we already solved for what $1 is. So $1 worth of candy is basically equal to 100 grams divided by $1.50. So this is how much it costs for one piece of candy. And now in order to do 12 pieces of candy, all we have to do is multiply this backside by 12. So we're going to do $1, we're going to keep this beginning part the same, and then we're going to write 100 grams. So 100 grams divided by $1.50. And then all we're going to be doing is times this by 12. And if we times this by 12, then we should be able to get our answer, since that is the amount that he purchased right now. So basically, if we times this by 12, the simplest way to solve this, or like to simplify this equation, is by simplifying this 150. Since we already know that 150 goes into 12 8 times, we can just write that. So 150 goes into 12 8 times, then what would happen is that both this 150 would get cancelled here, and then this 12 would turn into 8. So then I'll just rewrite our equation quickly. So $1 is equal to 100 grams. 100 grams times 8. And then 100 times 8 is basically just, we should know this, which is 800. So right now we got 800 as our answer. So since we have 800, we just need to subtract it by 300, since we already found out for A and we're just trying to find out for B. So now all we have to do, I'll just quickly write it up here. So we have 800 minus 300, since A was 300, we're going to do that, and then we're going to get 500. So our answer here is we got 500, so we got C. So C is our answer here, and that's just one way of doing it. That's the mathematical way of finding the unitary method and finding for 1, and based on 1 we multiply by 12, and that way we get our answer. So we got we got C for our answer here, and now I'm going to be showing the second method of how I solved this, and this method requires no mathematics at all, and it's really quick. So basically we're going to keep whatever we did before. So we already know that Alex bought 300 grams of candy, so we're just going to, for candy A, we're going to write 300 grams, and then is equal to, he spent $5. For candy B, it was X amount of grams, and he spent $7. And then average, his average was 100 grams, was equal to $1.50. So we know that this is the information that was given, and now all we have to do, since we already know that the average was $1.50, we could just keep on adding $1.50 each time until we got the amount of 7, until we got 7. So if we kept on adding 150, then we already know that it's equal to 100 grams, and based on that we'd get 7. So what we're going to do is we're just going to keep on adding $1.50. So we have $1.50 plus $1.50, and we're going to keep on doing this until we get $7. So right now this would be $3, and then $4.50, and then this one would be $6, and now we would have $7. So here now, since we have written all these down, so then $1 plus $1.50 plus $1.50 is equal to $3. So this is 3, then this one will also be 3, and then here we have one left, which is $1.50, and then here we get $7.50. And we can just assume that's really close to any of these answers, and the closest one that it will be to C, because since we know that each one of them will equal to $1.50, right? So we know that each $1.50 will equal to 100 grams. We know that it's going to be around either 525 or 500. But since we see that this $1.50 is here, we have to assume that there's nothing there, and we just keep the 7. So the closest answer would be to 500. Which would be C. So this is another way of doing it, but since we have the answers already given to us here in like the ABC multiple choice format, then this way would be a way to do it really quickly. But if we had no multiple choice, then it would be a little bit difficult. and then we just have to like actually use the first method that we did. But either way, that's two different ways of how you can solve this problem. So that's basically it for how to solve these problems. If you guys found out any different ways of solving these problems, then please let us know in the comment section below, and I'll be glad to check those out as well. And that's also basically it for this video, so thank you so much for watching from Try to Be Useful, and we'll see you guys in our next math contest series video.